Hello, everyone. I am Tacet, and welcome to the Gems of War Guild Wars, Week 71, Day 5. And gosh, that number, I say that so many times at the beginning of these, but that number is getting really large now. It's still going to be a while before we hit 100, though, because compared to before, the reason why that number is so much larger than every other event is because, of course, back in the day, Guild Wars used to be every week, and that's for some short duration, it was every 3 weeks. But of course now it's once every 4 weeks, so it's going up very slowly. But in like 3 years from now, we will hit the gigantic 3-digit 100 on it eventually. Soon, TM. But anyways, I know as far as when actual content sometimes comes into the game, sometimes it does feel like it takes that long. Like I've been talking about the key change for like over a year, and it's like, nope, still don't have it. Hopefully a little after 5.0 or during 5.0 they'll do that though. And hopefully we'll know some info on next patch soon. Beta is probably going to start in the next week or so. They're probably taking applications soon. I still haven't seen the form on the forum to post all of you for any of you that are interested. Me and Keylime ended up getting in automatically, but everyone else is going to need to reapply. So I do want to get that to all of you guys when it ends up coming out. And I'll probably cover it for a video too for anyone else who's interested. But anyways, Purple Guild War today. Hope all of you have been having a good weekend so far. Let's see. What am I looking for? I'm looking for my medal setup. I knew I was looking for something. Gotta go all purple on purple day, because the team that we're using is actually score-oriented. So you do want to go all the attack unless we need HP. Actually, now that I think about it, do we need 20% mana start? I think we do. I don't think we have natural mana start on this team, of which we definitely need some mana. But anyways, Guild War Purple. Today and tomorrow is purple and blue. And technically, even yesterday, we could have ran Vespera all 3 days. But we're going to be running Vespera for purple and blue instead. You didn't do it for yellow. Maybe I should have. Didn't we lose once on yellow? We did. We wouldn't have lost if we used Vespera. No, but anyways, let's go and get this down. We're going to be using this team right here, wherever it went. Guild War Purple. It is Thrall, Shabana Vespera, Doom Scythe, and Skeleton as Archmagus. Let me just make sure Archmagus is set correctly. Also, if you don't have Archmagus, you can use a second Skeleton. Guild Wars offensively does not penalize you for using a multiple of the same troop. So if you don't have it, you can just go double Skeleton, which will do almost the same thing. Which makes the entire team common other than the Mythic at that point, which is kind of odd, using a bunch of commons with Mythics, but in this case, it kind of works. Oh yeah, we already have half mana start on our hero. Not sure if I want Doomstorm. I feel like last purple, the Doomstorm actually backfired on us, just because this team doesn't have immediate start, which puts us at a little bit of a disadvantage. I'm also running with Explosion, but I feel like that is actually fine, just because we're going to have so many Doom Skulls on the board. But then again, maybe we don't go Explosion just to accidentally not make sure we chain them. Because we kind of want them on the board in order to use them for skeletons. So you know what? I'm actually going to go for extra purple and see if that goes a bit better. Because this is one instance where I don't actually want to chain all the Doom Skulls on the board. I want them to stay on the board in order for us to get value off them off a skeleton. Also, the less color you have on your team, the less effective a single explosion or multiple explosion is. Because explosion and similar things like that, like board clear, off, or destroy, are only extremely beneficial if you're using every color or almost every color. We're only using 3 colors, of which we will not get as good of a value from. But anyways, we actually have a total of +4 purple now with this. Oh, sorry, not +4 purple, even more than that. Gosh, we have +3 there, +2 there, +1 there. We have +6 purple. We could take a purple, not surge, and still have full mana. That is how much purple gain we have right now. That is a very high amount. 3 off of Archmagus, 2 off of Banner, 1 off of Thrall. So yeah, that's a guarantee full mana Thrall turn as soon as we take a purple off the board. That is very solid. We're up against... Ooh, that's an annoying one. We can survive 1 hit though, so it should be fine. We're up against Web Spinner. And I'm currently running extra attack. Not sure if we'll need to change that. Extra HP might even be more beneficial just so we don't die and we can build up... you know what? I lied. We're actually running extra HP. I just convinced myself into it. But I actually want to run HP. I don't know. Never mind. We'll go attack. I'm not sure. If we go life, the reasoning behind going life is with Vespera, we'll be able to hold... we'll basically be able to hold down to be able to go and gain stats, which could be attack. However, with attack, we just win quicker. But the problem with that is we could die. But I guess we'll just run attack, actually. We'll get a better score. As long as we don't lose any of these battles, it's better to run attack. Though, against that team, that is pretty sketchy. Well, we'll see how it goes. Biggest issue will be Mercy right off the bat. Hopefully I have a good starting board for this. If nothing else, Shabanu will get a lot of the yellow. I know, we just need to pick one and go with it. Well, we'll go with this then. So indecisive today. But let's just go with this. The main thing that's scaring me right now is the little web spinner, knowing that he has a Mercy on turn 1. So we do not have purple. However, he has very few purples that he can actually convert for value. But the problem is we cannot take purple, which is very bad when we're using this team right here, because the whole premise is take a purple on turn 1. As long as he doesn't take too many skulls, though, he's going to get that, but he doesn't have a way to skull it unless he gets, like, double brown off a sky, so we'll do that. And now he can't even get double brown off a sky. However, he did get a second yellow out of it. So right over here, we'll probably grab this yellow, then take either a third yellow or a blue, and go from there. So we are 1 mana short, of course you are. And we do not have any mana we could take. Wonderful. I don't believe we do. Let's see. Nope, we could try for it off of Sky Blue, but that's it. And we did not land it. Ooh, that's what I didn't want happening. That is the exact thing I did not want to have happen. Well, we got a really bad starting board. I think it's just over at this point. We just let ourselves die. Though the extra HP would not have helped us there. We still would have died regardless in that case. Just because of how high its skull damage is. So we're going to have to just take a green here until we can actually get purples onto the board. The struggle of Vespera being 1 mana short. I don't know, maybe we'll finally retire the Vespera team for purple. I really love it. The problem is it takes too long to get started. That's always been its issue. The Throw's supposed to fix that, but if you can't get a purple immediately, it doesn't help. Well, we'll try it again. We'll try it for the rest of the day and just see how it can do. It shouldn't be too bad against most of these other teams. I think the biggest issue is we might have to switch out of this team if we're up against Mercy. Though it also just comes down to bad luck. If we just don't have a purple on starting board, this team falls apart. It is extremely dependent on 1 single purple match being on the starting board, which more often than not there will be. Like when there is, this is how much value it gets, and it works really well. The only problem is when it doesn't have it, it just falls apart. Yeah, I'm gonna start spamming this for purple. Start getting that up so we can start spamming out some doomed safes. Oops, that's not what I meant to do, because we didn't have a spear up, but I guess that works, never mind. Do we have alignment? No. But we can make alignment and force it onto the board. Or still miss trying. Nope, doesn't have it, so we'll just go do that again. Keep buffing it up. Hopefully have alignment now. And we do not, but we have skeletons, so we'll just do that. That'll ideally give us alignment, and it doesn't, surprisingly. Though it gives us so much value, I almost feel like just going for it. But you know what, let's do it again. And now, do we have alignment? It just does not want to give us anything today. I will take that skull. Still no alignment though, so we'll take that. And we'll do 1 more, and I'll probably kill him at this point as long as we don't miss extra turn. So now we skeleton. Get some pokes. And AoE should kill. Not if I move that though. Oh yeah, never mind. Even if we move that, and now it dies. That's what the team's supposed to do. And it normally does. That was just a really, really unlucky first board. Not much we could do about it. I have another web spinner team. Does it have a Mercy in it? Click too quick to check. No, it doesn't have a Mercy. Though it does have something else that denies yellow. However, we actually have a starting purple this time, so it shouldn't matter as much compared to the previous time. So we'll stick to purple immediately, which gives us all the value we need to get rolling. Or not. Or not. Yeah, I think these web spinner teams might be the bane of this team's existence. Trying to run this against web spinner. Oh gosh, I didn't realize that was enough to kill. Good job, web spinner. Good job. Okay. I think we'll retire this team against any web spinner that ever exists. If we ever want to run this, we need a backup plan. So let's go get the team that actually works good against what are called? The web spinners. And that is using the thing that we used for the other 2 days. And apparently we're going to use it for all 3. So let me go get a green seer. Let me go get a, get rid of that, get rid of that. I still want to use this team more, but it really does not want to work against Web Spinner. Let's see, we need this, we need Wild Queen, and now we just need to figure out what other 2 options we want to run with this. That's the base of the team. Green Seer feels Wild Queen, and you go from there. Actually, I think we're even running right banner right now, oddly enough. I don't even think we need to change our banner in that regard. We need a tank up front to make sure these things don't die immediately. I'm trying to think underneath purple what tanks. What's good tanking purple? There's a lot of things that can tank, obviously, like Arcane Golem, but ideally one that synergizes a bit better. I know there's that one Faction Troop too. Did you have anything good off you? What's your other effect? Inflict death mark to a random enemy for every skull destroyed. Do we go RNG? Death mark doesn't count as, oh, it's the same colors of Wild Queen, though. And death mark doesn't count for points. Though it would be helpful. It actually would be somewhat strong for this Guild War day, because it gains attack and armor, both of which will help it not die. And of course, there's 50% score reduction, which is the main reason for using it. Oh yeah, there's Glaceon. Oh no, but it has mana overlap. Why does all the good tanks for this team have the exact same coloration of brown-purple? Apparently. Well, brown troops in general are a bit tankier. Oh, we actually have Fist of Zorn. Forgot about that. What color are we missing at this point? Blue? Is it just blue? Pretty sure it's just blue. What's a blue-purple tank that isn't horrifically bad? Does that even exist? No, because you don't have any score reduction. You're so dated. This was meta prior to traits ever coming out. Before patch 2.0, Aberef was meta, and then it became dead content the second 2.0 came out with traits. Zero wouldn't work for first slot against Web Spinner. Agile's too risky. I'd rather have Skull Mitigation in this instance. Scion's too risky. Though it would be pretty decent with it still. You don't have score reduction, right? No. Gosh, is there not a single one? I know you have score reduction, but your ability's pretty awful. Ha! Zugoff, go! No, you don't have score reduction. Actually, no, Zugoff is correct. It doesn't matter that he doesn't have score reduction, because he has Impervious. And Impervious, I completely forgot that. You could just use Impervious instead. Because Web Spinner can't hit multiple against Impervious unless you curse stun it, which I highly doubt any of these teams actually have the composition to do. So yeah, let's go this. I think I actually used to run this as my previous purple team too, just without Fist of Zorn. I forget what the fourth troop was before. I think I ran Leprechaun instead of Fist of Zorn. Yeah, it definitely was Leprechaun. Actually, I might even still switch it to Leprechaun now that I think about it, because it would help our excess green do something. But yeah, we actually used to run this exact Guild War team before. This was the Guild War team I believe I had before I switched to Vespera. Kind of funny that I end up just building the exact same thing right now, unintentionally. But yeah, let's roll this. This is what I used to run prior to what we were just running, the Vespera team. So we'll stick with this. It also gives us a reason to use Zugoff offensively, which we almost never do otherwise. Okay, let's get a green seer here. We can do that right on all the yellow Zeddy crates. That then gives us Wild Queen, which we obviously do immediately onto that Web Spinner. And how does it feel, Web Spinner, getting countered with skulls instantly? What do we grab here? We'll take a... What do we even want? But yeah, I guess we'll stick with this team. That means we're going to use Wild Queen for all 3 Guild War days, which honestly isn't necessarily a bad thing. I always mention she's really good for Guild War. And so far, our highest scoring day this entire week was the day we used her for Guild War. It was 9,655, I believe it was, when we used her for one of the days. But yeah, I guess we'll just stick with this for purple, just because there's too many annoying Web Spinners that make the Vespera team fail. Because if your first slot dies prior to getting the cast off, it just falls apart too quickly to redeem itself. It doesn't have any backup method when your only color is purple. And even if you were using a multiple color troop like a purple-yellow, you'd only cover 2 colors at that point, after they kill your front line. Okay, can we get a good alignment here? Well, we can make one. We could do that. That gives us Zugoff. We then cast Zugoff, and then we hopefully have a turn next turn. What's the biggest threat to kill right here? Oddly enough, I feel like it's not Silence 1. I cannot actually see what weapon he has. What 13 cost weapon would you even use? I kind of want to not kill him just to know. He has a lot of silence. However, we have Impervious first slot, so that shouldn't matter too much. I guess because you immediately have a cast, we'll kill you. What's your weapon? Sun Disc. That's a weird one. Oh, I guess it does do damage to all purple. What do we even want now? Let's get a Wild Queen. Attack steal from you because you're probably going to die, and you do. Unfortunately, you get a summon. We'll take that down for now. We could then just take the skull, get a green steer down, and go from there. I guess we'll do this on do it on yellow or brown? I guess we do it on brown. So we'll do that. Actually, we would have gotten quite a bit more mana if we're doing it on yellow, though. But, oh well. We got all the skulls set up, if nothing else. Probably best to go for yellow, since we already committed slightly to that mana just to get it all the way to full. Because yellow is the only way we're going to get it up directly. We can take another skull there. I'm not sure if I actually want to take that skull. So let's take yellow for now. Take a second yellow, let him get skull distracted. Ideally, he'll get skull distracted rather than hitting us on ability. Otherwise, we lose points, and we lose points. Unfortunate. No, though we already lost enough points today. Don't need to lose even more. So let's do that onto green, even though we don't have an extra turn, just to give us a good poke after. And we should be good to go from here. We'll steal attack on the only thing that isn't entangled. Unfortunately, didn't get too good of a board off of that, but we could take another poke if he lets us. And now we just need to kill him with a Zugaf at this point. That or double skull. The Zugaf's probably easier since he can't silence it. Do we have a drop for that? No, we did not. So we'll just grab the purple right there, and then we kill him with Zugaf. And he tried silencing it, and he can't, and he's dead. Yeah, we'll probably just stick with this. Again. Once again, we're back to this team. I'm pretty sure this was the exact thing I was using a few months ago. But yeah, obviously we did really bad. We got 2 losses. Both off of Aspera. Well, we're not Paragon anymore. Haha. Hey, Cookie might have done the exact same thing. That's kind of funny. Cookie and I are at the exact same things that happened. Well, except the first one ended up happening on a different day. Unfortunate. Well, we're finally not Paragon. So there you go. Now, the rest of my guild, go fight for Paragon, because we're finally not Paragon. I think we had it for like 3 or 4 months in a row. But we finally don't have it. Anyways, let's go do our dailies. Dailies are so absurdly good value today. Might be one of the best values we've ever had for it, actually. Actually, I might not even need to go armor. The battles are going to be so hard here that I think we'll just go magic if we're going to run key team. Or do we even run key team? We might just run, not sure what I want to run. Because these things are going to be, take a little bit longer, the other ones, just because they're such high rarity. For now, though, yeah, I guess we'll run, this into, well, we could run the Explorer 12 team, I guess. Because that will double kill to double kill as long as you don't have the immunities. Problem is they might have the immunities and the team doesn't have counter to it. But anyways, a lot of good loot. We get 2 VIP keys today, 10 gem keys, and 1 Imperial, and 6 brown deeds. A good wide range of amazing resources. One of the best days we've ever had for Adventure Board. Among one of them. Guess that kind of makes up for the fact we didn't have anything yesterday. But one interesting thing about the Mythic Key one as well, whenever that ends up dropping, it has the highest gem value of any Adventure Board task. It has a gem value of 180 gems. The 10 gem keys are worth 90 gems, and the 2 VIP keys are worth 90 gems total. And if you do it at the high ball estimate, it's actually worth 200 gems. But if you do the low ball, it's 180. Which is a pretty solid amount of resources. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's definitively been the best, but it seems like it's been the best. The adventure board we have today. I can't think of another day that was better than this. Actually, I never screenshotted it, did I? Let me screenshot that. So we know for future when we say, is it the best today? We can compare it to that one. I don't think we've ever gotten double mythic before. I'm not even sure if it's possible to even get double mythic. And even if it is, the % chance of it happening is just so ridiculously low. I'm doing these slightly out of order because I need to be able to do all these teams with what we're using currently. Oh yeah, don't they just use all gnomes for all 4 of these battles? To kind of make it like a Volt. They use all Volt troops for these battles, if I'm not mistaken. That makes sense. The background is the same thing as well. Anyways, let me change to an actual team that can kill these out now. Let's go to, you know what? Let's go use this team, just for fun. The Beast team. The Beasts. Actually, I should probably switch to attack if we're going to do this, but oh well. Do we have alignment? No. What do we take? Probably Beastly Bow. So we'll grab that. Take a mana again. Double check the board. What do we want? Take that. Throw Beastly Bow down. Get a kill. Go from there. Do we have alignment? Who converts out yellow? You. I knew we had something that does it. So we'll do you. Well, then you do you. Oh, I should have done the other one. I think we had alignment on it. Fail. And then we'll do you. Then we'll do Beastly Bow. And then this should almost be dead. Beastly Bow. Oh, so you have Stealthy. The plan has failed. Oh no, Stealthy ruined us. We could have killed earlier. Could have already had the kill. I didn't account for Stealthy. And he's super dead. Take out this bigger battle. We're going to get some Quentin in there any way we can. So we'll go take the brown right over there, get another Beastly Bow down. Grab that onto his... that Stealthy's being really annoying. Let's take it on first slot for now and hopefully have alignment the following turn. Of which we do not, apparently. So we'll go for... We'll still go for it then. Because that should give us follow-up for this turn. Right there. And now if you only had full mana, we could just win right now. But you don't, so we'll just keep taking pokes. All of the pokes. I'll take that for now. And then he's dead. There was a double scroll day that was pretty good. Yeah, if we ever get a mythic legendary scroll day, that tends to be pretty high in loot. Its gem value isn't as high, but its actual value is higher. If that makes any sense. It doesn't have a gem value attached to it, but it has really good value. Relative to how hard it is to get more scrolls. Also keeps looking like we have a gnome every single battle. None of these are real gnomes. There's still a chance that a real gnome appears in these battles, though. But none of them are real. They're all fakers. Okay, we need full mana Beastly Bow, and then we can hopefully do something. Or the board will just be perfect for us. Okay, that works too. So we'll grab that. Ideally, you'll magically find 2 mana. I do not see it anywhere, though. So let's go for that. We should probably wait till we get full mana on that before we start casting it. Because now we don't have an ability to go and clean up with here. Luckily, the skull is enough in this particular instance, but normally it is not enough. 2 more battles. Yeah, Mythic Battle, Final Battle is actually somewhat tough. The amount of stats are on it. Like, it's not like you're gonna, like, lose to it a lot tough, but for, like, lower level range, it's definitely can be difficult. It has about as much stats as a PvP battle would have around this level range or so. It's pretty high. I think it might actually even be a little bit higher than that. Luckily, the battle's pretty low, at least on this one. I forget if some of the other mythics had better alignments. I believe the mythic deeds do have better troop compositions. The one for keys does not, though. As you can see, all these are just useless gnomes, and I believe it stays that way the entire time. Isn't the final battle 4 Zeddicus? Why does that sound familiar? I'm pretty sure it is. Do we have any alignment here? Yes, we do. Actually, we have the perfect everything. We do this, then we do this, then we do the other one. Actually, you know what? Let's attack buff first, and hopefully have alignment after. And we do perfect. And the reason we did that was for the attack buff. In case it wasn't enough damage otherwise. There we go. Let's see, is it 4 Zeddicus? Oh, no, it isn't 4 Zeddicus. That was randomly generated. And we just happened to have gotten 4 Zeddicus there one time. Could have sworn we've seen 4 Zeddicus there. Let's see. We grab that. Grab a... I'll take that for now, I guess. Need Quentin to be full mana. Take the other yellow. And now that we have every single thing, do we have any alignments? The answer is no, unfortunately. I don't see any. We must have to go for it, though. Or we could go Beastly Bow. Start getting that up. We'll take that for now. Okay, now we have it. I have to do it in unfortunate order, though. But we can still get it down. We'll do that, and then we should hopefully have alignment for this, and we do. Perfect. And, yeah, their stat lines are pretty high. Actually, that's even higher than PvP. Yeah, they have over 100 stats. Oh, what do I want here? Let's take that skull, I guess. Oh, I thought that would kill. It doesn't kill because he can't be Hunter's Marked. I was expecting that to do double. Oh, he only got a 1 summon. That's nice of him. He can summon 1 to 3, and he only got a 1. And has such a low stats that we can just poke it with that. Because they don't upscale the same way that the other troops do. I think that was only a level 20. What do we grab here? I don't think this is aligned. I don't see it anywhere. So let's grab some red to get that to full mana. Of course it doesn't surge. So let's take that over. Grab a red again so we can get that, hopefully for something. Come on, give us the win. We're still going to have to cast twice. That's not the best board. Also, we lost our Hunter's Mark the first slot. How could you do such a thing? No, I was going to use that. Let's poke that guy. No, the Destroy 3. Why must you put Destroy on those weapons? That makes the weapon so much worse. Okay, one more hit. We'll take it. Come on, all we need is a poke. Where's our poke? We're going to do this because it gives us follow-up turn poke. Because you can't stop every skull. There we go. There we go. And there's 2 shiny VIP keys. I'm actually surprised they only have Epic Border rather than Mythic Border. These things are so hard to get your hands on. There's 2 of them. Sometimes you try selling these things for, what, $2 each or something? They have a 1% chance each for Mythic. And now we have accumulated 14 of them, all from those 2 at a time. Yeah, each one has 1% per Mythic, or for a Mythic. 14% for a Legend and 1% for a Mythic. And you also get 2 Epics whenever you get an Epic drop, which is like half the drops in this drop table. It also has a pretty decent rate for Celestials at a 4%. And double Arcanes. The double Arcanes aren't really as useful given that you can get so many of them through Explore. And those make up 40% of the drop table too. Useless trait stones. Which is another reason why VIP keys aren't really worth it in the current state of the game. 40% of the drop table is trait stones. And if you're an end game, you do not need trait stones. There's no trait stone sync currently in the game. They made mention that they were going to add one. But with many things. Soon TM. It's been like a year since they said that as well. And they still haven't added a trait stone sync to the game. Hopefully 5.0 might have it. Or some patch around then. But as it currently stands, there is no trait stone sync whatsoever. But anyways, before I forget, let's go run the pet battle. We do have a pet here today. And that pet is the last year's Valentine's Day pet. So if you haven't picked it up, definitely highly advised to go and do so. And even if you have, you can just get a few more copies of it. Also, hello, Captain. Welcome. Okay, right off the bat, we need green and we need skulls. Or not skulls, we need green and we need brown. Wrong team. Also, hello, Oif. Welcome. Also, I'm pretty sure I mentioned it before, but that's a lot of fun to say. Oif. Not sure if that's even pronounced right. Let's see, we'll take that down. And then kill it with the key. Skull would have been quicker. Actually, no, it wouldn't have. Never mind. Casting is always quicker if it has no board control compared to taking a skull. And the main reason for that is because the delay, you have to wait for the gems to cascade onto the board. What do we grab? We'll let him have a skull because we actually don't need skulls with this team. Then we go to key. Hello! Oh, Aoife. Interesting. I pronounced that extremely incorrectly then. Hello, Rumiford. Let's see. It will be a good idea if you do a short video on how to use the game code. A few of your friends recently started Gems of War, and it's not easy to explain it to them in text how to use the game code. I've done a video on it a long while back. I guess we could do a new video on it. It's pretty straightforward though. You just go to the link, put in invite code, put in redeem code, and go from there. Invite code is in the game itself, underneath your settings menu, and a redeem code is whatever we post into chat, which we'll do as soon as we finish out our dailies today. Okay, we'll grab that, take our splits all over the place, and then we go right into key, and get our double key, of course. And then he is dead. But actually, I can literally show it in game, like right now, as we do it, because I can bring up the page. I normally don't bring up the page for it, but we could go do that. Let's see. And what's nice is it defaults to you not being logged into anything, so it'd look the same way that you guys would see it. Let's see. We'll go and get a key down. And it'd be dead. I did the video in 2017. Oh gosh, that video is old. There's a lot of videos. It's like, oh yeah, there's a video already made, but then I forget it's like years ago at this point. Because I knew I made a video on it, but I don't always remember how long ago it's been. That is quite a while. Three more battles. Then we'll take out dungeon with the exact same team. Actually, I'll probably switch over to, what's it called? The instant kill off of Phoenicia. Oh, it's actually the first video on Google? Really? That's kind of funny. The video that we did ages ago is actually the first video on how to do it. Good job, Google. Yeah, I almost keep forgetting how interconnected they are. And that's how I make like half the money of this channel too, is through Google AdSense. Which it might be a little bit less than half. I'm not really sure what it comes out to exactly. We'll find out on taxes. Let's see. I'll take that down. Move that over. Yes, every single like does make it show up higher on whenever you Google it as well. Not just for YouTube, but also on Google end. Okay, final battle, and then we'll go get ourselves the pet from last year. Hopefully we'll get like 5 copies so we can actually upgrade it once, if we want to. I tried getting my new computer written off on my taxes. I'm not 100% certain if they will be able to, but I did give a lot of receipts to a lot of things related to this channel, and we'll be able to see if we can or can't. The only thing I didn't give receipts for is some of the stuff I got off of Amazon, which probably made up for several hundred. However, it is really annoying to get all those receipts, and I just figured it might not have been worth it, because I would have needed to have gotten like 20 individual receipts or something. And I don't have access to a printer at the moment. Let's see. Take that over. Get a key down. Wow, we got 3 copies. Nice. That's not 5, but that's still pretty solid. Now we need 2 more. Shop, go. No, just kidding. That's really bad value to shop. It always has been, always will be unless they revamp it at some point. But anyways, that's the new pet. Or not really a new pet, it's last year's pet, but if you didn't get it last year, it's new to you. And let's go kill this out with Phoenicia. Where'd it go? Phoenicia 2 trophy off of 5 Explorer. Buy a printer and write that off as well. If I get a printer, I need to make sure I can find third-party ink that works for it, because ink is so ridiculously expensive. And you can normally buy ink for like $1 when you buy third-party, because ink isn't really that expensive, but they sure try selling it high. They can get you can get ink pretty cheap, like new cartridges off of eBay and such, like third-party ink. The only problem is some a lot of printers are capable of actually discovering if it's like a fake ink or not. There are printers that do accept off brand ink. They do exist. You just have to find them. The problem is finding a printer that doesn't have a check for it, that is still a decent printer. But they do exist. I know because I used to use one in college. I forget the brand of it though, off the top of my head. But the one I had in college was able to use third-party ink. And the printer wasn't even that expensive. I think the printer was only like 50 bucks. But anyways, and even came with some ink initially. Anyways, so that's all those kills. Let's go get Andjel code. And then we'll probably get a level on our barbarian class, as well as a level for our hero, since it's so close already. Anyways, what am I looking for? I'm looking for code section. Let me go get a code out. Let me go move that over. Grab this code. Also, let me go explain how to use the code as well. Let me actually go through the whole process. I'm not even going to claim it. So, here's how you go and use the code. Let me first go and paste it into chat, though. And then I will go and explain how to go use this code right here. So there's the code right over there. But now I'm going to do it completely from the outside by just opening a browser through this. So, first things first, go to my live stream. We stream every single night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Normally for about an hour or so, sometimes longer. So let's just go bring up YouTube real quick. YouTube.com. So we go to YouTube. From YouTube, we now go over to my channel. So we'll just type in Tacet or something. And it should show as the first thing that we're streaming right now, assuming that we are streaming. And if not, the way that you can get to our stream, if it's not up yet, is go to my page. And then go right on here. It should say, hey, we're going to be streaming in like X amount of minutes, assuming I put it up ahead of time. Or it'll just literally show the stream. I'm not sure why it's showing it twice. Maybe I have 2 fields for it. But then you just click on this. Mute that, pause that. Oops. Come on, stop. Okay. We know you changed your terms of service. We know we're not logged in. Then we go and copy this, which is right over here. You copy that. You then go into the redeem code section. There are 2 different ways you can get there. The first one is to simply click this link into a new tab, and here's how to get to the page. But there is a second method to get there. You go and type in gemsofwar.com, and then go to the redeem code section, which, oh, this page looks different? I never even realized they made this page look different. Interesting. And even tells you where the thing is. But either of these 2 pages work. Weird. They're actually a different link, too. When did they change this? Anyways, it even tells you where they are, so it's even more self-explanatory. So here it says found via the settings. We'll put this one in first, though. This one is whenever you're on a live stream or anything. We always hand one out every single live stream, so that's that code that we just posted into chat. So that's that. And then this is asking for the thing in game. So to find this, you go over to settings, and whatever your game says in the bottom left there is what you put in. And mine, of course, is just Tacet. And we'll just put that in right there. And then we click redeem code. And then we get resources. And that's all you have to do for that. That's the whole process. And right over here, we get our true treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. Same thing as we normally get. Sometimes we give out a better one. And there's sometimes other better ones given out by the devs and stuff like that. But, yeah, there you guys go. And that's how the full process for the code thing. Anyways, let's go and grind out a level on Barbarian. Since we're still trying to get this thing to level 70, ideally by the end of this weekend. Where to go? Where's my Explorer team? I believe it's at 65 right now, if I'm not mistaken. Should still be the same level as this afternoon. Yep, 65. So let's go get 66. Okay, grab our splits. And get all of our very quick kills. You planning on grinding more tomorrow night? Or tomorrow noon? Oh no, we won't be streaming noon tomorrow. Although I should have some time tomorrow to finally go record that video. The event video for the week. Which is mostly, obviously at this point, mostly just going over Quentin. Since obviously everything has already happened. And we've kind of just been going over them on stream. But, yeah, we'll be messing with Quentin for a video tomorrow on the weekly event video. A little last minute, but better late than never. The Monday one for next week should be up at normal time. I say that, but no, it should be. Definitely should be. Let's see. We'll get that out. Grab our other one over there. Get our split damage. Now, I could easily just make a separate video for it later. However, if anyone wanted to do it now, they could just use that timestamp. But I'll post an actual video for it. Soon, TM. Obviously want to do the event video first. I also want to get that other video I've been meaning to record for a while that I still haven't yet. The one on the best 10 teams of that were meta last year, which are still all meta right now, which is why it's relevant to actually go over it. Every single one of them is actually still meta to this day. I'll be going over in that video. And the team's already made up, I just didn't record it yet. Because I want to actually use each one of the teams, which will make the video go for at least a half an hour. Let's see, you're trying to catch up to everything new that's going on. you haven't played the game in almost 2 years, oh, that's a lot of things to mention. That's a lot of things. And you're going crazy with the new bleeding mechanics. Key Team. Oh, yeah, Key Team didn't even exist as of 2 years ago, didn't it? It came in a year and a half ago. Yeah, there's a lot of things that came in that time. Gosh. I'm not even sure where to start. It's like almost the entire meta of the game right now is everything that came in the last 2 years. Because that means... Do you even know hero classes then? The hero classes changes? Like the fact that they have 7 perks now? Because that's probably within the range of being 2 years. Because that was a year and a half ago or so. I should make that for a video topic too sometime in the near future. Because there are quite a few people that have been coming out back after like half a year, 2 years. And people who kind of are coming back from over 2 years ago. There's a lot of things that have changed. Like the game probably doesn't even look like the same game anymore. Especially from 2.5 years ago, because that's when they literally made the visual change. That made the game not look like the same game. Quite literally. Because they changed a lot of the visual user interface of the game. I'm pretty sure you were around for that. Though a lot of people did quit when that happened. So maybe not. I think like 10% of the player base actually left from that. Somewhere around there. Just because they really liked the new user interface. Some percent of them probably came back. Oh yeah, you had to wait at 1.1 day for class changes. Now they're infinitely for free because you can set them per class. The new medal system you can't set per class, which is kind of funny because they reintroduced the exact same problem that classes used to have. Except at least now it doesn't cost you any gems to switch it. But as far as the last 2 years, we end up getting medals, which are used for global bonuses, as well as for upgrading troops to elite levels, which are basically the new leveling post level 20. They didn't actually add anything above level 20, but it's technically the levels above level 20. It's technically 21, 22, and 23 in a way, even though it doesn't show it as such. And those you obtain by doing Explore. They're only in Explore. You can get some from Epic Guild Tasks, which is a new thing that ends up coming into the game as well. Epic Guild Tasks are basically a new set of 6 guild tasks that cost quite a bit more gold than the normal guild tasks. However, they have a lot of the more newer loot that have come in as of recent times that you can end up using, like ingots, like tokens and stuff like that. Ingots are things that are used to upgrade weapons. That's their sole purpose. They you end up getting quite a bit of them over time, that you have a surplus of them. However, initially it can be a little bit hard to end up accumulating enough to upgrade weapons. As far as where you accumulate a good majority of them, you actually accumulate them mostly from a combination of PvP, and you get a good bulk of the better ones. Oh, there's 9 of them right now. Well, you get some from this new mech gnome that came in a little while ago. It's actually the most recent gnome. You probably know what gnomes are, but they added one that has those metals on it too. Not metals, those ingots on it. But the main place you actually get ingots are from Underworld. Underworld is a new location that they added about a year and a half ago. They added it when they added the last kingdom ever, which was Sinner Mirage. And now they don't do kingdoms anymore. Now instead of a kingdom every few months, we get a new faction every single month. And those factions are basically effectively like new kingdoms. They have 4 troops, a rare, an ultra rare, a epic, and a legend, all of which can be obtained from portals, which you use shards to open. Chaos shards are obtained through actually doing the delves. And doing delves gives quite a few good loot. The 2 main unique loot that they give, or at least the better 2 loots, are chaos shards, which are used to open those portals to get all the troops from the underworld, as well as treasure, which are used to upgrade the delves of the underworld, which you should try getting 100 on every single one of them. And the other thing they end up giving is ingots, which is the main thing I'm trying to get to here. Legendary and mythic ingots are accumulated at the highest rate through the underworld. That's how you accumulate a lot of the higher rarity ones. And the rest of the lower rarity you basically get from PvP and those gnomes, like the one we just got. Other than that, I'm not sure if you weren't here for the new trait system, but one thing that we're actually doing literally right now is trying to level up a hero class. Every single hero class can go to level 100. They still have their base level 20 thing, which still uses the souls, which is pretty cheap, only like 4,100. However, they now have a whole new leveling system that requires 5,050 EXP, and there are quite a few methods that give 1 or 2 EXP throughout the game, whenever you use the hero class. And basically, whenever you use that hero class on your team, specifically on your team, has to be on your team to get the EXP, you get levels. And as you get levels, you'll get various perks. And you can get 7 perks per hero class, which is quite a few. It basically means hero classes now have 10 traits, which is more than 3 times more than any other troop in the game. So hero class, since then, has basically become the new meta, because hero class is ran in almost every single team now, just due to the fact that it has 10 traits. And it also has the highest overall stats of any troop in the game, as far as base stats are concerned. Yeah, I know, that's a lot of info. A lot of things happened in 2 years. Also, another thing that happened in the last 2 years is we don't have Guild Wars every single week anymore. We do have it currently right now. But we have 3 other events as well, Raids, Invasions, and Tower of Doom. And these events rotate with Guild Wars. And they basically allow you to get orbs. Orbs are a new resource that can be used to upgrade troops in various ways, or give you keys directly. There's a blue one that allows you to ascend troops, which you should only use on Legend and Mythic, unless you're using a major blue one. There are green ones, which basically counts to save you free souls, which you can use for leveling up troops, particularly good in early game. There's orange ones, which help you trade up troops. That should mostly be used on the 2nd and 3rd trait on Legends. And then there's purple ones, which you can use to get basically seal keys. I think you've been around for seal keys. Those are basically like gem keys, but they also have guardian troops in them. Half their drop is guardian troops, and the other half is gem keys, assuming your guild has 40% seals. That's something they actually changed with one of the Guild War things pretty recently, is you can actually get 2,000 seals per week now, rather than 1,500. And I feel like I still missed a billion things. But that's a small rundown. I really need to make a more concise video on that soon. Like, everything that has happened since seals came out. But yeah, this game has changed a lot over 2 years. And compared to like 2.5 years ago, the game's not even recognizable. Well, it's still kind of recognizable. It has quite a few similarities. But they changed the whole UI. And a lot of the meta has just completely shifted since then, as far as the content they actually do within the game, and just the actual meta itself as far as what's viable troop-wise. Oh yeah, I always have videos going on that explain the newer stuff that have come out. If not specifically videos, of course we stream every single day and make mention of it live. And soon we'll know what's in the next patch. 4.8 beta should be soon. We obviously won't be able to mention too much immediately, but hopefully we'll get some juicy tidbits of it within the next few weeks that are public that I can actually mention. And the patch is probably anywhere from mid-March to mid-April. We don't have an official date. Last year was mid-April, so there's a good chance it might take that long until we get it this year. I think they aim for about 6 patches every year. So we already had one a couple weeks ago. Then we have another one, hopefully soon, TM. And then we have, we always have one right at the end of December. Or the mid-December, I should say. I think they always try getting one in around the early November to late October area. We normally have one in August. We normally have one sometime between the next patch we're getting and August. And then we have the one at the beginning of the year, and then we have the one that's coming up next. So that's 6, right? I either named 6 or 7. I lost count. Let's see. December one, the one that's around November, October end. Sometimes there's another one in there, but let's go to August one. Then there's the summer one before that. Then there's the one that's coming next. And then there's the one at the beginning of the year. So yeah, that's 6. And sometimes they have more than that. But that's the likely amount of patches we'd get in a year. 3 of which would be big patches, 3 of which would be smaller patches. Also, we have an ultra big patch this year as well. This summer, we're getting the 5.0 patch. We definitively know almost nothing about it. We know approximately some things that might be in there. For example, the new version of the Underworld might exist. Like, we're going to get another area. Currently, we have KrissTigger, which is the main world of the map. Then we have Underworld, which is where all the delves are. And 5.0 is likely adding a new area. What they're going to be doing with that area and what it will actually be, we don't really know. But there's a good chance 5.0 will add it, among other things. And that'll be this summer. Let's see, we'll go for that for now. Grab our splitty splits. Also, have we still not gotten that level yet? Should be pretty close. see how much more XP do we need. I hate that you have to go through so many menus to get here. 3. Every single time I check, we're always like 5 off. Or somewhere around there. But yeah, 3 more and we'll get it. Nice. And if anyone still has any other questions, let me know. And I'll make sure to go over it all. Oh yeah, that's something else I forgot to mention. Challenges got revamped. Now you just do Explore instead because Explore got much better value than Challenges. Challenges are still one time each, but you can't like infinitely repeat them like you used to be able to. They're kind of like quest lines in that regard, where you can only ever do them once, but they still give some better loot. They give souls for the very first set, but now they have 9 other sets that give other resources. You still get about the same amount of souls, but now they have 9 full sets of additional resources. There we go. Barbarian level 66. 4 levels to go. Yeah, challenges have pretty good rewards. Though the point in the game where you would actually need most of those rewards, they can be a little bit hard to actually do. Or a little bit slow. If you had only like Mang as your main damage. But if you're around like a level of 500 to 1000 range, you should be relatively easy to get all the way to 10. Especially if you have good instant kill options or upscaling options. That's another thing that became really big as of the last 2 years. It's something that didn't used to be in the game for quite a while. But as of Delves and several other pieces of content, upscaling is pretty important. Pretty much anything that can scale based on the enemy stats, or can instant kill or have something that can upscale to damage anything. And it doesn't care what their stat values are. Things like Death Mark, things like Devour, things like instant kill mechanic, things that specifically boost ratio off of enemy stats are all extremely important troops in the current state of the game. Just because a lot of pieces of content need to do that. The main ones being Tower of Doom and Delves. However, it is also partially done in things like pet battles and even Adventure Board in a way. And technically dungeons earlier on in the game. That doesn't really upscale much. Let's see. So if you're a newer player, you'd kind of need to use Mang or something for it. Because that'd probably be the first viable option to actually run through it. No, Delves were not out 2 years ago. I explained most of the stuff with it, though, earlier. But no, Delves were not out 2 years ago. They came in the summer 2 summers ago. Not last summer, but the previous summer, in August. Like mid-August. So then Mirage came out, and then Delves came out. Or, did they come out at the same exact time? I think they might have. Well, with the introduction of Sinner Mirage, we ended up getting Delves. What am I farming for? Barbarian hero class right now. We're trying to level up Barbarian to 70. So that we can go do a video on Barbarian hero class with it maxed out. Because it doesn't have a good 100 perk. So it's technically maxed at 70. And we're almost there. We should hopefully have it by tomorrow. If not by tomorrow, definitely by Monday. And then we could probably cover a video on Tuesday. Or Wednesday, sometime in that time frame. But yeah, whenever you see us spamming low-level Explore, it almost always means we're farming for class XP. Because these are the quickest wins in the entire game. They only give 1 XP each. But you get really quick wins. You get like 15 to 20 second wins. Also, I had this controller set up this entire time. I haven't used it, I don't think, a single time. Our quick cast controller. Helps speed things up a little bit. Also, hello, Zex. Welcome. Any news about the Delve? It's useless. Next Delve is really bad, as far as the troops are concerned. I don't think we know anything about the layout until Monday night after our stream. So technically Tuesday stream when we end up doing it. Because the developer stream after my stream. Which reminds me, they haven't done a Q&A for a while. Wish they would do one. They're probably gonna, they're almost guaranteed gonna do a Q&A prior to, also, what on earth is going on this battle? They end up looping us some. Well, I guess goblins do that occasionally. It is their thing. What was I about to go mention? But yeah, they're probably gonna do, if they don't do a Q&A soon, they are 100% doing a Q&A prior to version 5.0. It is just way too huge of a patch to not do a Q&A for. Because every single 0.0 patch have been absolutely massive. 2.0 were traits. Traits did not exist prior to that. 3.0 was Guild War. 4.0, as well as just guild-related events in general coming into the game. Though we didn't get those until a bit later, like 4 something. But 4.0 was Delves. And 5.0 is basically the new version of Delves, essentially. Because we're going to be getting another world. It might not be similar to Delves at all. But, you know, it's like the new kingdom system to replace out the fact that Delves will eventually run out in the near future. Because we're starting to get into a pretty high number of Delves. Aren't we at like 18 Delves as of next Friday, I think? Or something like that? How many do exist right now? Of course, there's only going to be 34 of them. Yeah, exactly so. There's 17 right now, and there'll be 18 once the next Delve comes out next week's Friday. So yeah, it's pretty high up there. Also, here's a bunch of stats we have. Shows the highest 3 renowned factions you have, which obviously will just show us with 3 2500s, because that's all we have are 2500s. Well, actually, no, that's not right. I still haven't done Sunken Fleet, but after, or not Sunken Fleet. I always keep calling it Sunken Fleet. I'll remember it. What's it called again? Sea of Sorrows. I still haven't done Sea of Sorrows. That's the only one I haven't maxed yet. But yeah, we're almost there. We get it eventually. And yeah, wait, our largest one is 222. That is Silver Necropolis. Necropolis, I should say. Average treasure hoard is 165. Eventually, we'll probably have that to 200. And Underworld treasure hoard total. This takes the number that you have for every single upgrade. And we have 2,812. I don't think most people go to this page. I'm kind of curious what some people around my level range have for that page. Let's go to global chat. Let's see if we can find someone around. There we go. Here's someone even higher than us. By quite a bit. Let's see. What do they have? They don't have a single 2,500. I'm surprised. Some people just don't bother with them. But yeah, not a single 2,500. He has some factions that he's done up to 500 for sure. But he hasn't done a single pure faction. Interesting. Let's find another high level. Apparently he spends all his time leveling. Here's a decently mid-range level. It's kind of funny that I consider like 1,200 mid-range now. Nope. Again, none. It's not something you do until endgame. Like, literally an endgame player doesn't even have it done. Like, you definitely don't worry about it earlier in the game. Some people might still prioritize it some. But, yeah, I'm actually really surprised. Is there that few people that have done a maxed out 2,500? Here's someone quite a bit lower. I'd expect this one not to have it done. And they don't. I'm actually really surprised by these values. Trying to find someone else in global. It's the same people talking to each other. Let's see. Trying to find like a 1,500 or so. It's the same people talking to each other. Same people, same people, same people, same people, same people. Here we go. Alyssa. Nope, 1,540. Let's see. There we have some probably 500s, but they're not pure faction 500s. Interesting. Let's check my own guild. Do people in my own guild not even do it? Let's grab our tribute. Let me see. I'll go check the first few people in my guild. I'd assume they would. Like Michael, we should see some. No. Why does no one do pure faction? I thought this was something done a lot more often. Especially based on leaderboard being just a wall of 5,000s. Or, you know, of maxed out 500s, I mean. I am really surprised by these numbers on literally everyone. We haven't clicked a single profile that has a 2,500 yet. I didn't even realize it is so underdone. It's not really a high priority. Like, that's like one of the last things you worry about in the entirety of the game. Which is probably why so many people don't have them. It is quite literally the last thing you ever worry about in Gems of War. Like, you'd want to have almost every troop in the game before you worry about a single 2,500 pure faction. But still, I'm surprised. Very surprised. I thought it was a bit more common than that. It is pretty hard to do, though. Because you have to spend, like, 2,000, 2,500 gems if you want to do it on a Tuesday event. You spend a little bit less if you do it on a weekend event when a new faction actually releases. It's probably closer to 2,000, especially if you do every single battle. But it can be pretty pricey. There are some that can be done for free, though. Crypt and Stonesong Aerie are your two best bets. Crypt Keepers and Stonesong Aerie are the two best chances you have to do a level 500 pure faction for free, because you could do it pretty much just with a level 200 faction and just run them down with instant kill, because they both have an instant kill option to use for the delve. So you're eventually going to get lucky enough that you just win. So those are your best 2 bets if you're looking to get a pure faction done for free without spending gems. But still, I'm surprised. I guess that would explain why the achievement is still so low. It's a little bit inflated how many people have it, because there was a glitch with it when it first came out. But I'm pretty sure it's under 1%. Let me go double check. Of course, we have the browser open right now. Let's go get rid of all this. Also, really, Tom Steyer, how many ads did you buy? Every billionaire is just buying so much ad space. Let's see. Literally just getting us Tom Steyer ad. Though I haven't seen many Bloomberg ads, even though he's spending like almost twice as much as Steyer or something. Because they're both billionaires with like infinite money. They're like us in Gems of War. They're basically the equivalent of us in Gems of War. They just have more resources than they know what to do with. So they figured, why not buy the presidency? What am I looking for? I am looking for achievements. I came here to see what the percent is actually on it right now. Let's see. Where's 2,500? Where is it? It's actually higher than 1%, but that might be inaccurate just because there was a glitch with it initially. Yeah, it currently shows as 2.1%. However, I believe it's realistically closer to 1.5 or so percent. The main reason it's a little bit inflated is the achievement originally worked as 2,500 total rather than 2,500 for a single faction. So a lot of people that played initially obviously got 2,500 total eventually at some point, and then they all ended up getting the achievement without actually doing a pure faction to 2,500. Who's Tom Steyer? Oh, he's a billionaire who's running on trying to become the Democratic nominee. He has no chance to win. He has done a lot for climate change, though, so I do respect that. He was also, I believe, one of the first people to try to get Trump impeached, which obviously that didn't work out well. I think he's been trying pretty much since he got in office. Let's see, we'll go for that. Yeah, I haven't seen too many Bloomberg ads, which I'm kind of surprised by, given that I'm in South Carolina. South Carolina's voting in a few weeks. Haven't even been seeing that many political ads, despite the fact that I actually do look up a decent amount about politics. Though I do have to say, I've probably seen the most amount of Tom Steyer ads than anything. He's probably pushing South Carolina hard. Yes, every single person running on the Democratic side, except for Pete Buttigieg, is a millionaire. However, Pete Buttigieg has the biggest amount of big money donors, so that kind of cancels itself out. But yes, every single person other than Pete was a multi-millionaire of some kind. And 2 of them are billionaires. Tom Steyer and Bloomberg. Mike Bloomberg. But even Andrew Yang, I think, had a few millions. Because when he sold Adventure for America, it sold for, I forget how much, but it was multiple millions. Or he used to do a test prep thing as well. For like high school test prep. And that also sold for quite a few millions, I believe, when he sold that. Oh, never mind. Adventure for America he still has, actually, if I'm not mistaken. It was the test prep thing that he sold for multiple millions. Because Adventure for America was a non-profit. And even Bernie became a millionaire. Because he made so much money from selling his books that he became a millionaire from the books. Which is kind of funny. Which I do find somewhat hypocritical of Bernie. He doesn't even pay his workers $15 an hour. Yet he expects small business to be able to do so with a $15 minimum wage. That's something I really don't understand. How hypocritical that is. But he doesn't even pay his staff 15 an hour. Yeah, he's a millionaire. It's people with only 10,000 in the bank would have to pay $15 minimum wage if they were to start a small business off of that. Let's see. We'll go for that. The 2,500 faction achievement on Xbox is at 0.09%. Oh, gosh. What is the lowest achievement on Xbox right now? Like, the lowest few? Kind of curious. I think the Steam one might be inflated slightly. Because there's also people that can just hack the game to, like, pretty much get any of them instantly. And I think it might be a little bit harder to hack on a console. It's a little bit easier on the PC version. $100 elite troops? Yeah, other than 100 elite troops. Obviously, 100 elite troops is the lowest. It still shows as 0% on PC mobile, or I should say on Steam version. It still shows as a gigantic 0. I'm pretty sure some amount of people have it, but it's so minuscule that it shows as 0. Well, minimum wage adjusted for inflation is already over $20 an hour. I believe minimum wage adjusted for inflation is like 23 or so. I just don't feel like doing a minimum wage across the entire economy is the way to go, though. I'd still rather see large corporations have to pay like $20 to $25 an hour, and then like 80 to 90% of everyone else have no minimum wage at all. I personally feel like that would work better. But just having one single minimum wage across an economy I don't feel like works as well. Especially with how vastly different the economy is in every single state of the America. I am definitely pro living wage. I'm just not pro government forcing a wage. Like, there's so many other means of work that would become available if minimum wage was just completely abolished. Things that are easier to do that you could just do as side jobs while still having a main career. Because higher minimum wage always kills off smaller jobs. And while living wage is important, you can't just force every single person ever who wants to start a business to have to pay such a high fee up front to just get anyone hired. Because the other thing that causes is businesses stay almost completely in the family rather than spreading out to other people to employ. Let's see. We'll grab that. But anyways, politics aside, I guess we'll probably end out for now. I've been farming for like another 10 minutes. But still want to get that level 70 hopefully this weekend. Hopefully get a good majority of it in tomorrow night. Probably aim for 69 or so. Ha, 69. And go from there. But anyways, guys, hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend. We'll be back tomorrow night around same time as always, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, about an hour and a half prior to now tomorrow. And yeah, we'll be going over all the stuff for next week. We'll also sometime tomorrow have the video up for this week, which is basically going to be going over Quentin, of course. He's still available all tomorrow, so make sure if you haven't gotten him yet, Quentin, really great option to go get. He's in the event key drop table for this week only. Then he won't be around for about another month. So if you don't get him now, you won't be able to get him till like early April. So definitely make sure to go get him. Let's see. Did I miss anything? Nope, I believe that was everything. No other questions. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll catch all of you later. Goodbye, everyone.